What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room, hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this reality chat. Man, I tell you, Mariah, I really, really admire Mariah. Okay. It's just something about her. Her personality is infectious. And I just feel like she's one of those people that you either love her or hate her. And I really do love Mariah. I really, really do. I see that Carlos has interviewed her again. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I don't really listen to a whole lot of what he does because his voice is just annoying to me. And when he interviews people, especially people like Mariah, each and every one of them are always the best, right? He said it about Nene. He said it about Kenya. He said it about, okay, man, we get it. Just worship the ground that all of these women walk on. Leave it at that. Ask the questions. Let them share what they're going to share and be done with it. Quit kissing butt so much. But anyway, with all of that being said, Mariah, she did an interview with Carlos King. Part 1 was released, and we know how he does when it's a big interview. You got to stay tuned until next week for the second part. So he's just milking it for the views. Okay. Carlos is getting probably more money off of these YouTube interviews than he is off of his reality shows. I'm just going to put it like that. Okay. But anyway, he's probably kind of feeling like, dang, I could have just been doing this and not wasting my time doing the producing of all of these shows, because I'm quite sure that he never knew that the first show that he did on his own, which was Love and Marriage Huntsville, would wind up with such a toxic person attached to it that could be the destruction of one of his first shows. Just being honest and putting that out there. But this isn't about that. This is about Mariah. And Mariah shared a number of things in this interview. I talked about the other interview that he did with her some time ago. I talked a little bit about that. So he's interviewed her again. And, man, I don't think that Mariah is lying about anything that she has said. When it came to Quad and the questions that were asked about Quad, if Mariah was just being messy and hateful and whatever, then she wouldn't have said some of the things that she said. He asked her, do you miss the friendship that you have with Quad? She didn't just come right out and say, no, I don't. She said, I used to, but not anymore, because pretty much Quad has become a diva now, and I just don't do that. Now, some people may feel that Mariah is diva-like. I never got that about Mariah. I definitely saw her as a woman who is one that is just, kept up well. Her husband loves her. He takes really great care of her, as well as she works a lot too. Like, she created Married to Medicine. Get the heck up out of here. This woman is not just somebody who's just a little doctor's wife, right? She has said that Quad definitely has become more diva-like. And if you don't see that, then I don't really know if you need to get your eyes checked, or if you've already had them checked and you just refuse to wear your glasses or your contact lenses. But Quad definitely did become the diva. And if you didn't see that on this current season, when she had her big reveal coming out of a freaking coffin, come on, that says it all. I mean, we could go down the line of so many things that she has said and done, but she said that no, she does not miss it anymore, but she used to. But even though she said that Quad shouldn't be on Married to Medicine anymore, she didn't hate on her to say she shouldn't be on TV anymore. She's like, I do feel that she has some star quality. So if they still want to have her on, then give her own show. Now, I don't know what the show would really be about, because honestly, Quad doesn't reveal much about her personal life. She really doesn't. I know we've heard Dr. Heavenly say some things, but in terms of what she's really revealed about her own life, all we have seen of her is moving from a very nice, about 3-4 story condo to buying her own mini mansion, Great. Okay, fine. Happy that you were able to do that. You're living well. Fine. And she said that she lives a life that a lot of people would really envy. But what is it about that life, and how are you living that life? She doesn't reveal anything about herself. So I don't know that she deserves to have her own show or a spinoff, but I'm just saying that to say that Mariah saying that, to me, shows that Mariah really doesn't harbor any ill intent against Quad. Though some people may feel like she does. But she said, I was never jealous of Quad. Like seriously? And no, I never went low with people. I made some comments and things that were just petty, like calling Dr. Simone Backtooth or Bucky. And she called Quad, without a wig, Mr. Potato Head, which was funny. These things are funny. It's funny. It's childish. Okay, sure. But is she like Quad? I definitely don't agree. And it was really refreshing to hear her just be able to say a lot of things, and some things were left as a cliffhanger, of course, because when he asked her about Dr. Jackie, then it leaves as a cliffhanger. But we can pretty much say that she does not really see it for Dr. Jackie. And honestly, a lot of the things that she's saying, it doesn't have anything to do with the viral story that came out about her saying the things that she said about Black women who are pregnant crying wolf and all of this other stuff, which that went on for a little bit, right? It's died down and simmered down a bit. But I don't believe that Mariah was jumping on the bandwagon to try to trash Jackie. I believe that she was just pretty much saying, I believe a lot of people now are seeing the things about her that I have been saying for a while. And she has alluded to, if not outright said, some things about Dr. Jackie before as well that wasn't popular opinion. And because people were seeing her as sort of quiet, reserved, doesn't drink alcohol, breast cancer survivor, never able to have children, and then her husband doing her the way that he did her, a lot of people were just seeing her as a successful victim, if you know what I mean. And I'm not saying successful at being a victim, but a woman who is successful, but also has been the victim of some life circumstances and situations that they don't feel is really fair. No woman deserves to be cheated on. No woman deserves to be treated badly by their husband. And no one wants to go through cancer of any sort, right? So that's a horrible thing to have to go through, but we thank God that she is a survivor and she hasn't gone through that again, to my knowledge. So with that being said, Mariah, she's like, no, I don't miss that friendship that I have with Quad anymore. I did. I used to, but I'm done and I've moved on. And I love that for her. I really, really love that for her. And I wanted to say this. I love seeing this. Obviously, Mariah is living an amazing life financially. But when you compare her, honestly, I just wanted to say this. I'm not going to go into all of the things about Nene because I may talk about that in another reality chat. There is no comparing Mariah and Nene. I know a lot of people like to try to do that, and I've talked about that a little bit before, but I'm just going to say it again. There is no comparison between Mariah and Nene. There really isn't. Mariah, even though she is married and she has a really amazing husband that takes really great care of her and her family and household, she also does work too. She is not lazy. She is a hustler. She works. Nene, she wants stuff given to her, okay? And she did not capitalize off of the moment that she had. She was just out here complaining on social media, talking about what they've done to her. And even if those things were done to her, she still had a large following. If she utilized her own resources that she had at the time to do some different things that were not like the typical things, like getting a clothing boutique, getting a restaurant, that type of stuff that they don't even have, people like Nene, they don't even have any experience in, but they just feel like because they have the money, it's going to be successful, which instead of doing things like Mariah has done, she's like, yeah, I'm making my own talk show. I have already paid for the first 3 episodes. Like, she's got her own studio. She bought this property for her birthday. Her husband bought it for her birthday, even though she could buy it herself, but she's gotten it all outfitted. And I'm so impressed by that. I love to see things like this in business. It's so super inspiring to me. It really, really is. And I just am so enamored by the fact that she did not allow her being iced out, pushed out. And even though she's still getting paid because she has her credits for Married to Medicine, she just didn't come up with the name Married to Medicine, but the concept and all of it. And even the people who were for the most part on the show was her baby. It's hers. And they can't take that away from her, but they tried. They tried. And she also made mention of how Quad tried to take what she said, because she didn't take anything back from what Quad said to Carlos by saying Mariah called it Married to Mariah. But she said, I said that, but they knew the context in that. It was based on what the other people was doing. It wasn't about her castmates and calling them married to me, like I run this, I own this, you need to bow down and respect me. No, it was about the executives. It was about the people behind the scenes that were trying to take her out of this concept that she created. And she was saying, this is Married to Mariah. That's what she was saying. Not saying that they're married to her, like you all, Quad, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, Dr. Jackie, Toya, y'all need to bow down to me, kiss the ring because you're married to Mariah. She said she knows that was not what I meant. That was not the way it was. But because they allowed people to get in their ears because they wanted to push me out, they allowed it to be seen that way, especially Quad, because Quad was wanting to be the number one and allow people to get in her ear. And people do stuff like that. That's the thing that I don't understand with some people, especially women. When they have a close-knit connection, that's how the enemy works. He infiltrates through people, and he has no real power. He only can function through ideas and suggestions, and people can take that to heart and make it a reality and move on those things. The devil doesn't control any person. All he has in his power is the power of persuasion and suggestions, period. So with that being said, if people were getting in Quad's ear to say, girl, you know, Mariah's jealous of you. She sees that you're a star. She sees you rising and she doesn't want you to be ahead of her. She doesn't want you to be above her. She doesn't want you to be in front of her, but she sees it happening and she's threatened by you. And then you sit there and you listen to that and you're like, you know something? You're on to something. I see that. And you know something? Yeah, you know what? She said this and she said that. People do stuff like this all the time. And now look at what Quad has been going through. Now I see that she's been guest hosting this week on TGIF. And look, I was reading some of the comments and people are like, get Quad off. A lot of people are not here for her, okay? And so I just wanted to talk briefly about that. I might come back and talk a little bit more because I really do like Mariah. And for the sake of Mariah, I sat through and listened to the interview because Carlos, it's hard. It's a hard listen for me with him. So I have to fast forward real quick because I don't want to hear him talking about his raindrops and joining his community and all this other stuff. Do what you do and all of that, but I'm not a part. But at any rate, Mariah said, no, I do not miss the friendship anymore, but I used to. And I am not a small person. I'm big enough to say that even though I don't believe she should be on Married to Medicine anymore, if they see star quality in her and I see some things in her as well, then give her a spinoff. Let her be on something else. And again, I'm not disagreeing with Mariah. I'm just saying, but what would she showcase? She doesn't show her life. So I think that her having a spinoff would not really work. I don't care how many people say that they're down for Quad. I don't see her having her own thing. She honestly, to me, is like Nene, where it only works really with an ensemble, not so much with your own stuff, really. So anyway, guys, it was a great first part. Ready for the second part. I may listen to the first part again because sometimes you miss some things when you're just listening and you're not really taking notes. And so, yeah, I'm going to try to stomach Carlos again, just to listen to some things, because it was a very great interview. Mariah always is, to me, a great interview. And she shares how she really feels, no holds barred. And I respect that. I really do. So anyway, guys, if you listened to the interview, let me know. If you didn't, I have a link to it in the description so that you can check it out. So let me know your thoughts on Mariah, the first part of her interview, the things that she shared about Quad, and even Dr. Simone and some other things that she was discussing with regards to the show. And thank you guys so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.